Hello, everyone. We warmly welcome you all to our special program brought to you by Indian Achievers Forum. I'm your host, Vatika Singh. Indian Achievers Award is an honor that celebrates the people who went extraordinary to effectuate their aspirations and ideas. In this series, we emphasize not only on the struggles and achievements of the people, but also on the social contributions they made to their native land, India. Before introducing you all to our one such achiever, let's take a look at the small AV.
Indian Achievers Forum is driven by a full-fledged advisory board. The board consists of experienced personalities who have excelled in their respective careers. Together, the forum organizes conferences, events, workshops, exhibitions, trade shows, and B2B initiatives in India as well as abroad. Where there is passion, there is achievement. And where there is achievement, there is Indian Achievers Forum.
Mr. Moonish has 23 plus years leadership outsourcing experience in pre sales, transitions, operations, account management, strategy, consulting, and transformation. He is presently heading global banking operations and heavily focused on creating value for his clients through end to end operations and solutioning. He also leads the gender diversity program for the business. Moonish is a hotel management graduate, MBA, certified Six Sigma Green Belt, and holds an insurance certification from the Insurance Institute of America and is also an author. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey, Varika, good to see you. Thank you. I'm okay.
All right, sir. So, before entering into the questions, tell us something about you and your professional journey so far.
So, thanks, Varika. A brief about myself. I grew up in a place called Shimla, went to school, and I spent a large part of my life living in Mumbai and have spent time across Hyderabad, and now I'm based in Gurgaon. Um, as I think about my professional journey or my journey as such, it's been a journey about change. So I spent time in the hotel industry, I spent time in the airline back office, and insurance, and now currently I'm running the global banking operations for Genpact. So it's been a lot of change for me, and I've loved it. More personally, I believe that there's so much more to an individual beyond work. So I believe a lot in exploring different facets of life. So, for example, I write, I love trekking, and I also believe that as humans, we only end up using a certain proportion of our brain power and potential. And every time you do things that are out of your day to day schedule, it just opens up more dimensions in your head and helps you get a lot more out of your own self and your life. So that's a bit about me. Thank you.
Right, sir. So, moving ahead, I'm really keen to know that what inspired you to pursue this particular field as your career and profession.
Yeah, so I believe that there are individuals who are driven through interests, and there are individuals who are driven through opportunity, and eventually both interest and opportunity, they converge at success at some point in time. So for me, like I said, my life has been a lot about change, and I have taken up every opportunity that's come my way. So I started my first job was with a company called WNS, which was a back office for British Airways, and then that started in 1997. I worked there till 2000, and the ITES industry that we are in today wasn't that large that time, and I wasn't sure where it would go. So I ended up taking a full time break, and then I joined WNS back again, and since then I've been back in the industry, and I've had the opportunity to do roles across the value chain in this sector, right from pre-sales to sales, implementation, running delivery, and transformation. And given that I had the advantage of starting early, I think it's helped me create value not only for myself but also for my employees and for my customers, and it's been a great journey. So I've been at it since 1997 because that's what I started with.
Right, sir. So, moving ahead, we know for a fact that starting anything has never been easy for any one of us. So, what all were the challenging predicaments that you had to go through initially in your journey?
Yeah, so look, that's an interesting question. So as I think about the journey that I've been, I think for me, the first journey was about, how do you go from a small town to a big city like Mumbai? And that was a big change. And I think the second change for me was formally studying hospitality and then making a change to the back office, or in the outsourcing or offshoring business. Within that, there have been changes from, like I said earlier in my introduction, there have been changes around um, airline back office work, the insurance back office work, and then finally the banking operations work. So it's been a lot of change, and I believe that I have been able to thrive in this change by purely uh, being driven, and being driven by a goal to create value for our customers, right? So that's what's kept me going, and it's been a fairly exciting journey.
Right, sir. So, tell us in detail about your role at Genpact at the moment.
So I'm the Chief Operating Officer for our banking and capital markets operations at Genpact. It's a fairly large and distributed team, about 22,000 people. Half of that is in India. There's another 18% in Philippines. We've got another 18 to 20% of our people in the Americas, and then the balance is between Australia, China, UK, and Europe. um, and as I think about this, inclusion and making sure that we are one connected team is an important agenda, and something that we consciously as leaders and my entire team focus on. Uh, when you think about Genpact's purpose, which is in pursuit of a world that works better for people, we are driving, or we are running operations which is very purpose led. So for example, when you are issuing uh, when you're issuing a mortgage, you're enabling somebody's dream of owning a home, or a auto loan, somebody's dream of enabling, or getting a car. We do a lot of work on the financial crime and anti-money laundering, which is about how do you prevent money getting in the wrong hands. So it's a very purpose-led operations, and collectively as a team, we are focused on creating value for our clients, and we're doing a variety of things around not just running stable operations, which is just a given, but helping our customers be successful, and helping them achieve their business outcomes. And we're doing that through leveraging data insights, benchmarking, adopting technology. One of the other important agendas for me as an operating leader is about how do you create a work environment which promotes retention and engagement. Um, so I spoke about inclusion, extremely important. Giving growth opportunities to people and learning opportunities for people, extremely important. um, and the diversity and inclusion is continues to be a big thing for us. And collectively as a group, we heavily focused on growth for our clients and growth for ourselves. So that should give you a little bit of sense on my role. Thank you.
Right, sir. So, since we know we all have certain plans for our future, so what are your future plans?
Another interesting question. So look, in today's times, the world is changing so rapidly. So
Right.
when you think about what's out there in the future, 52% of the Fortune 500 companies, they don't exist today. Almost about 60% of the jobs that will be created in the future, or will be needed in the future, they don't exist today. When you think about the time to adoption, like chat gpt, the time to adoption was 5 days, right? So in this world, which is changing so rapidly, it's hard to look ahead for 5 years. But I know that as I think about my 5 years, since you asked me, I believe I will be working in this industry, because it's a very exciting time, because we are helping our clients get better. There's a massive opportunity for us to drive uh, you know uh, value for our clients, and transform them using data technology and artificial intelligence, and I think I see myself doing that. You know, running a large business.
And we wish you all the luck for all these plans of yours. Okay, so sir, first of all, congratulations on winning the Indian Achievers Award for Man of Excellence. I really want to know that what was the feeling when you came to know that you have won the award, and who all have been your constant supporters in this journey?
Yeah, another interesting question. So look, this came by as an opportunity for me, and I responded, and I was absolutely thrilled, knowing that I had been selected, or I had been awarded this particular award by the Indian Achievers Forum. So certainly very thrilled, very excited, very happy. It's the first award that I would have got at a all India level. So really excites me. As I think about the support I've had, I grew up with my grandfather, so he instilled a lot of values in me, of discipline, hard work, result orientation, and there's so much more that I can think of that I need to thank him for. Obviously, my parents for being a constant support, and my wife and son, who constantly, encourage me and are with me to get the best out of me. So, so that's a little bit of reflection on that.
So now, since we know a lot about your professional role, tell us something about your social contributions as well.
Yeah, thank you. Again, a great question. So I am. I'll talk about what I'm doing at work and a little bit about what me and my wife are focused on doing at a more social level. And I believe there's a massive opportunity to do even more. So more at Genpact, I am the diversity, equity, and inclusion champion for my banking and capital markets vertical. And as a business, we've been very focused on getting to a more gender balanced ratio. And as we think about our DEI strategy, it's essentially got two pivots. Pivot one is how do we increase the number of women leaders in our company, and pivot two is expanding the definition of diversity beyond gender to include, people of different races, color, ethnicity, PWDs, LGBTQ. So we heavily focus on that. As I look at 2022, the year that's just gone by, we engaged about 11,000 employees, towards the DEI agenda, and I can tell you that everybody is super engaged and totally aligned in doing this. So that's one. And as you know, we just coming out of the pandemic, or we in the endemic stage, and it's been tough, for many of us, our employees, our customers, and it's a mental well-being and employee engagement is an extremely important agenda for us. And there are a few things that we're doing more, which are simpler to do. For example, no Friday meetings, not sending emails on the weekends, because then as leaders send those emails, then there is a tendency to 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 reply back to those emails. So those are things that we're doing. And we've got 24/7 counseling lines for our people. We've got tie-ups with the meditation and wellness app. So we're doing a variety of things on that way. And then the third thing I want to talk about is the corporate social responsibility. So I champion that for my business. And as I just look at 2022, we engaged about 22,500 volunteers across various initiatives, such as, planting trees, pledges to save energy, water, saying no to plastic, and many such important social agendas. A little bit, on what we as a family typically try and do. So we are sponsoring the education for a few underprivileged girls. Things like, handing out blankets or comforters for people who are on the streets during the winters. And I'll tell you one more thing, which is very interesting. I learned this from one of my German customers, good friend, uh, and he mentioned to me that he's got a timer in his shower cubicle for 2 minutes, and I think I found that very inspiring, and we've adopted that. So we as a family, we've limited our shower intake to about 2 minutes. That's just another good way to contribute towards the society. And then just being a little bit more conscious about, as you go through your day-to-day life, around, how do you save electricity, how do you limit the use of cars, can you walk a certain distance versus driving down, can you limit the use of plastic, right? So those are some of the things we are doing as a family. And like I said in the beginning, I believe there is such a massive opportunity for us to do more, and for everybody around us to really get conscious about it.
Right, sir. So before concluding this session, you know that IF is followed not only by mainstream organizations, but also those young minds who aspire to be like our achievers someday. So, what is that one message you'd like to give them?
My advice to everybody would be that, and I touched upon it in the beginning, um, that be your best version, maximize your potential. And for doing that, you should explore different avenues, and expose yourself to doing different things, versus just being at work and just being back in the college. So make the most of your time, uh, have fun, and stay curious. Um, it's, it's it's an interesting time, and it's going to be interesting times ahead. And stay happy and stay safe. So thank you.
And that, I must say, is a great piece of advice. Thank you so much for joining with us today. It was a pleasure talking to you, and we hope that you continue to inspire people of all ages forever. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Varga, I really want to thank the India Achievers Forum for this opportunity and platform. And yeah, feels great to be here with you. Thank you.